You and I have a common passion and belief that we need to completely destroy, obliterate, burn down, and sprinkle holy water on the current healthcare system. And I wouldn't say that as dramatically, but the healthcare system is broken. And it's not just healthcare, it's the food system, and it's many different elements of our society. We are we have a healthcare crisis, I think is the way that you put it, right? And I wrote down a few stats, and I know you have some of your favorites too. And again, because we're speaking to entrepreneurs going after moonshots, I think one of the biggest opportunities on the planet is the fixing this healthcare crisis and delivering new systems, new capabilities. Um, and I'd like to give some of the stats as motivations,
Mhm.
if you don't mind. Happy to go first. If you have your favorites, you can go as well. I've written things down. I don't know if you have these memorized or not, but it's crazy.
Well, first of all, we should stress, because this is a global audience,
Yes,
that it isn't just a US crisis, it's a global crisis.
correct.
We have over 8 million people in line for healthcare in the United Kingdom. We spend 18% of our GDP, $4 trillion in the US, on healthcare, and outcomes are getting worse every year. I mean, we work at Thrive with many self-insured employers, and they're alarmed at the increase in healthcare costs every year. So this is a universal crisis. But you know what, Peter, from my days in the media world, I have learned that we're not going to change hearts and minds through numbers.
Hmm.
We need to tell stories. And there is a story which actually the New York Times covered, in Austin, Texas, which has become the amputation capital
What?
for people with diabetes. You know, last year there were 150,000 people with diabetes who had their legs or toes amputated.
It's crazy.
Now, this is
That's an alarming number.
it's alarming, it's barbaric, and also not to mention the incredible cost in dollars, of these operations, prosthetics, infections, the cost in human lives.
And
So,
human hope and
and
human well-being and belief that there's a better tomorrow. I mean, if you've had part of your body cut off, that's got to be soul crushing.
exactly everything you've said about optimism and how optimism helps us be healthier. But the story in the New York Times was the story of one man, Robert Perez, 39-year-old record producer, not an old man.
Hmm. 39, yeah.
And he was shown in a picture being fitted with a prosthetic. And he said, and he was diagnosed with diabetes 4 years earlier. And he said he could never believe that it would get to this point. So, how come that people don't know what's available to them, not just in terms of medication, but in terms of behaviors,
Hmm.
in terms of what they eat, their stress levels, their sleep, and how all that impacts the progression of the disease?
And the sad thing is it's infinitely preventable and or reversible.